Hey, what's up? First thing I like to say is thanks for hitting the link and watching this video. It took time and effort to make this. Really do appreciate that. Also, if you don't mind, can you hit that like and subscribe? Hitting the like don't hurt none. You can hit it right before you see the video. Don't worry, you will be satisfied. Also, we trying to get some new things going on in this channel, and to do that, I need new equipment. And to do that, it really help if you could give some kind of donation. If you can't, it's cool. It is what it is. We still appreciate your presence here. If you can, that would be very nice, and link is in the description. Anyway, right now, let's get to our regularly scheduled program. What's up? This is the BBN Network, Jack Frost speaking. And this story is courtesy of the Daily News, New York Daily News. And this is a tragedy. Over the weekend, I believe this happened on Father's Day. A Brooklyn teen was caring for his daughter, and he ended up, or it's alleged that he beat the young girl into she's now in a coma. And I'll read some of it. A Brooklyn teen who didn't want to be a dad pummeled his 16-month-old daughter, cracking her skull and blackening her eyes during a Father's Day beatdown that left her in a coma, police sources say. Little Nyla Lewis was bleeding in the brain, multiple skull fractures, and bruising on her face, legs, and other parts of her body, authorities said. And the girl, who was at uh, I don't know how to say that, medical center, needed a blood transfusion. Nala's injuries are so extreme, there is little hope she will live another 24 hours. The tragedy began Sunday with 19-year-old Shaquan Taylor at his Coney Island apartment spending time with his daughter. Sometime in the afternoon, Taylor sent a Facebook message to the mom telling her there was a problem and that she needed to pick Nala up, police sources says. So basically, the mother, read a little bit further, the mother wanted, see, this is just a terrible case. Like, ladies, you know, there's a difference between a man wanting to be in his child's life and not having the opportunity, because there's just a false narrative out here about just black men in general. Um, I know tons of black men, not tons, but I know quite a few black men that, they're not able to be in their child's life the way they would want to be because of the mother. Um, so I want to say that there's a difference between a man not wanting to be in his child's life and a man not having the ability to be in his child's life. And this is obviously a gentleman who did not want to be in the life of his child. You can't force something like that. You can't. You put the child in danger. Often we tend to think that our morals is how other people guide themselves also, and that is not always the case. Obviously, in this particular situation, that was not the case. The mother wanted her wanted the father to be in the young daughter's life very badly, and so she found the homeboy on Facebook. Then after finding homeboy on Facebook, um, she then proceeded to attempt to try to bring the little girl around, and on more than one occasion, he alerted her that that's not something that he wanted. That's totally different, than a mother who, you know, is only gonna allow the father to come around if the father adheres to guidelines like being with her or buying her things or whatever else, like a stipulation where, okay, if you're not going to do this thing, then you can't see your child. That's totally different than somebody just generally not wanting to be around their child. Because when you have somebody who generally just don't want to be around their child, you leave open the possibility of things like this happening. Um, so he turns 19 in a couple of days. That's crazy. It's just crazy. Uh, Previously, he had been in trouble with the law for sex with a minor because, you know, when they started seeing each other, she was only 14 and she gave birth at like 16 or 17 or something like that. But these are one of the dudes that need to not be let back out. Like, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for this. I tend to be lenient when somebody is under duress, when somebody's under stress, when somebody has a mental illness, when somebody is in such a situation that they just don't have the capacity or the ability to think at full capacity, or and they just make bad decisions and they just can't help themselves. I tend to be lenient because I understand how our emotions can motivate us to do foolishness or motivate us to say we're going to do things that we aren't even going to do in the first damn place. I understand that. But when you have an individual who is in care of a child, and first of all, they beat the child, period. The child's only a couple of months old. Like, it doesn't even make sense. The child has no, and this go to all parents out there. I was in a public area today. I don't want to say where it was, but I was in a public area today, and some lady was sitting behind me with her baby. The baby couldn't even be 2 years old yet, and she told the baby to shut the fuck up numerous times. I had to turn around and look at this lady, young girl, young girl, young girl. I had to turn around and look at her so she could see the disgust on my face, because to her, she's seeing her kid crying and thinking, I have a bad kid. When in reality, the rest of us who are parents or just generally have, had children in our care for long enough that we could say, yeah, we know how to parent. Looking at you saying, you're a terrible parent. Your kid doesn't even know how to conduct themselves in public because you are inconsistent. You yell and scream at your kid, so your kid comes out in public and your kid yells and screams. That's what happens. The kids are gonna, this isn't even what that's about, but just in general, we have people raising kids that shouldn't be raising kids, men and women. Got their children, their freaking children, and there should be a law somewhere that says that if you're a child and you have a kid, that you have to be put into some kind of program. That you and your kid has to be in some kind of program. It's not just to prevent things like this, but it's also to make sure that we can raise a freaking responsible adult. There's got to be something put in place so that when these kids go out here and they have kids of their own, that there's some support system that they have. Because if your kid is 12 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, and they're having kids, there's a good chance that that support system ain't in that household for them. I want to know what y'all think about this. Leave some comments down below for me, please. I want to know what y'all think about this. Comment, like, subscribe. If you ain't hit that notification bell yet, I don't know what to tell you, man. You need to hit that notification button. Support your kid. I'm out here. I'm trying to do stories that not everybody else is looking at. I'm trying not to do gossip exclusively. Share, share, share. That's all I got for you. And I'm out.